Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning from Shelburne RV. Got a few things we're going to get going on this week. We got the big race trailer that came in just a few minutes ago. We're going to be doing a video on swapping out an on-demand hot water heater. Now he's got the precision temp right there, and we're going to start changing it out with a Suburban on-demand. So we'll do a video on how to do that. Probably just be a one-off video, just how we do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take you around and show you a few things we got going on this morning. Obviously a nice sunny day here in Tennessee for the first time in a while, but we got some repair work we're doing on that. Lewis is sealing on that horse trailer right here, and of course you've seen this Puma that we've been working on with the floor repair, kind of waiting on a few parts to show up today for McMaster Car so we can finish that up. But let's go take a look at the carpet on that and see where we're at.
Generic motorhome lock we can, but our start was in the tunnels of New York. The reason for that is, I don't know if anybody's familiar with what this is right here. This is called.
So Lewis just finished up with sealing the top of a horse trailer. Had a lot of water that was coming in around those vents, so we've got all that now sealed up nice and pretty. Extreme sealant for the roof. So we got this Puma finished up, and you saw the floor, how rotted out it was, and we got the new carpet slide and all's back in here. But they've got the new carpet, and you saw where all this was rotted out. They've got all this put back together. We ended up putting all new carpet in the bedroom also, because that was about the best way to do it. So now that they got this all finished up, it's ready to ship back to the customer. So working on a toter home that came in with BAL slide out gearbox that is stripped out. Now remember, BAL is the cable pull system. Now the bad part is the motor and the gearbox is about right in here. The problem is this valance right here that you see all the way across this thing is screwed from the back side. So the screws are right here, but you got to get to them for the back side, and there's probably, you see how much room there is right there. So how do you get that off? We haven't quite figured that out either. So we're trying to determine at the moment how we have to pull the slide to actually get that out of there, which we really can't do because we can't get to the cables to loosen the cables. So this is the problem we run into on some of these, is trying to go back and figure out how the manufacturer actually put this together. So we'll do a little update on this toter home we got going on here. Now you saw yesterday where the valance was covering up, and now you can see that everything's exposed. The chains, the gears, motor. So typically, this is how the BAL cables are done. When they come from the factory, they have this nice piece that goes through there. Is this factory crimped on the cable, and so then they're easily adjustable. If you ever have a cable problem, the kit they sell actually comes with these pieces that slide over the cable that you have to squash together to hold tension. Now obviously whoever worked on this the last time didn't do that, and so they used these clamps. The problem was, and we think this is where the gearbox actually got broke, and they've moved these around. These were actually all pointed up as these right here were. And so what was happening was, when these two would pass each other, this one would grab that one and was binding the whole system up. The other problem was the cables on the ends here were about this long, and I think Lewis saved, he was supposed to save me a piece of that cable. The cable was so frayed that the fray in the cable was actually grabbing the ends of it. So, and you can kind of see how it kind of was right there. But yeah, they were all frayed real bad. And you can see right here how bad this was grabbing when it went by. It's actually done damage to the face of that. So now that they've got this all back, we've tested the functionality of it to make sure nothing's hitting, grabbing, pulling. They're ready to put this valance back together. Now, what we found out was, and this is kind of silly how this was done. See the face of this? There was actually screws that were holding, or you can see the screw holes right there. We're actually holding this valance up, and then they take and we're physically tucking that into the top. And so you can see how tight, this is. This is going to be a mess to try to tuck that material back in. So yeah, not my favorite thing. This really was a pain to do. Obviously with trying to get the valance off, of course I had to pull the fascias off, but not on top of that, just because whoever did the BAL repair the first time really did a very poor repair. And so this has cost this customer a lot of time and money, just because of how they did that, and two, how the manufacturer did this. And I actually called the manufacturer yesterday, and they could not tell me how they put this up here. So very disappointed on that end. But yeah, some of the challenges that we run into on some of these, and you guys are kind of seeing that now, where sometimes it's a crime scene investigation to find out why in the world they did what they did and how they did it. So I want to bring you in here and show you this Salem that Zach's been working on that had the blowout body damage. Now we had to replace this metal. It was bad. And then we noticed when we got into this, because it did damage this panel, had a lot of water rotted in there that has caused issues. Now you can see where he's got that off, and we're going to be putting metal. There's some of the old siding. We're going to be putting metal on that, and then he's got to build the J-wrap, which is what that machine's for. I've showed you that in previous videos, but obviously had some blowout damage on this side also that he's got to go in here and replace. So this camper's obviously had some water that's been leaking in here. But so here's something I want to show you. We actually put a roof on this about 1.5 years ago. And so we got up on the roof here to do a roof inspection to see how our sealant had been done. And look at this right here. Looks like the customer went under something low and has damaged this, and there's obviously some holes in the membrane. So he's hit something, and then when we started looking up on the very front nose up there, the awning's damaged, that front cap's damaged. So we're gonna have that conversation with the customer here. He may not even know he did it, but gonna have to get in there and do some sealant work on that, see if we can resolve that. So I got a few projects here in the shop that the boys are working on. This is obviously a cut to fit awning, which awnings have been very tough to get this year, so we're using a lot of cut to fit stuff. Got this Norcold 1210 that came in and it's ruptured. So we'll be putting a Dutch Air brand new cooling unit in that. And then I've got this little 4 kW generator that's actually propane. And what's kind of interesting about this is the generator will not run unless we hit it with ether. Now we did pull it out and we did take this apart, and there was an issue with the diaphragm. Now this is different than the one that was on here. I actually had a different one on here, but I still can't get it to run. This hose is free and clear. This is the vent line. It is free and clear of debris. Now while we're cranking on that, if we blow a little air on there, this generator will start up and run, no problem. So I've actually ordered a whole new assembly here. We're going to put that on there and then retest that. But that should resolve that little situation right there. And then the Chateau you see right here has got a bad start solenoid in its generator, and it's got the old Marquee Gold generator, so it's a little older generator. And then this one, they are installing brand new slide out toppers. Now what's interesting about these, and it's tough some days, is look how close that topper is to that awning arm. So you got to make sure not only when the slide's out that clears, but when the slide's in, it clears. So a little bit of compact installation going on there, but they've got that all on and ready to go. Let's go around. I'm going to show you a couple more. All right, well, that finishes up the week for me this week. It's a little bit of a short week for Jan and I. We got to head out to Michigan to a funeral, so we'll be gone Friday through Monday. So I'll be back on Tuesday shooting video here in the shop. So hope you guys enjoyed the video this week. And remember that this video is Cousin Gary approved.